Didn't black men teach?
Black men teach.
Black men teach.
Black men teach.
Black men teach.
My name is Janoy. So I'm a secondary school teacher. I teach religious studies and citizenship.
Albert Adeyemi. I teach PE and maths and also heading year.
And we're both the co-founders of Black Men Teach. We met 2019, 2020 on Twitter. And then we both kind of shared this whole common theme of mentoring. Albert was doing amazing things in his school, and so I wanted to replicate what he was doing in my school, and then we just kind of met through there. We did a campaign video on Twitter about respecting black men in the classroom. That kind of went a bit viral. And then in 2021, we found ourselves launching Black Men Teach, where ultimately we just kind of raised the profile of teaching amongst black males, black educators.
Emmanuel is a primary school teacher, second code and assistant head teacher of inclusion. He is also the director of the Reach Out project, a mentoring program for boys who are disengaged from school. Emmanuel's mission is to create positive outcomes for young people who have been given little chance.
I experienced my first school exclusion when I was in year 5, and there's a common theme of my educational experience, which is I was always the boy with potential, but for whatever reason I wasn't fulfilling it. The only event in school that my dad ever turned up to, despite the fact I played football since I was in primary school, was parents' evening. And every parents' evening, all he was ever told essentially was, yeah, man, he's a bright boy, good boy, you know, but it's just not working out, you know, he's not fulfilling his potential. What ended up happening was I left school with only 4 A to C GCSE, and I couldn't take my A-levels like the rest of my peers. I was a year behind everybody. I was now having to retake my maths because that was one GCSE in particular that I failed. So already there was a ripple effect. And I started off my second year of college, but my first year of A-levels in the worst way possible, because I basically didn't attend most of my courses up until about January. At the age of 17, I went through what I didn't realize obviously was depression. I pushed through. Anyway, long story short, I pushed through. I still messed up with college. You know, I didn't leave with particularly good grades, and I was able to scrape through to university through clearing. And I went to Kingston University, and Kingston University was the first time I tasted educational success. At the age of 22, I didn't know what it felt like to leave an educational system or institution in this country and know what it felt like to say, well done, congratulations, you've done us proud, or leave a significant certificate that actually showed that I participated. And so I studied criminology with sociology. I left with a 2-1 degree. And like I said, the first person in my family to receive a degree. So I left university with no plan, no idea what I was going to do with myself. I wanted to be the change that I wanted to see in education, but I also wanted to represent the young people that I saw who were coming through those school doors, and every single time they were saying they had very little chance.
So Christine is an associate professor at UCL Institute of Education, a senior fellow of the HEA, worked in schools, colleges, and the higher education sector for over 20 years.
If you were to describe your experience, a black man in education, as a board game, what board game would it be?
Yeah, I'd say chess, and that's because I'd say, let's say, for example, black male teachers are the kings, no pun intended, but let's say we're the kings, right? And we want to do what we can for all of our students. We try to get our pawns, the young students up there and grow them to be the bishops, the knights, the queens, all that kind of stuff, much more powerful. But then it's like, we need to protect ourselves as well. And sometimes in those environments, it's like, we're trying to do the best for our students, but constantly have things that are taking them away, whether it's exclusions, suspensions, and all this kind of stuff like that. But sometimes we're not in the positions to be the ones who could move more than one space, if you know what I mean. But we need to dictate how we aid our students and other teachers to do the best for those students.
Yeah, I'm finding that black men have to put more effort, more time into navigating the context, which I call white spaces, in which they work, and having to sometimes not refashion themselves, but be very, very aware of their identities and how those identities are being read and responded to as a way of carving a path through. The narrative that we're not there is not true, but the narrative that we're not making progress is true. So in terms of recruitment, now I'm going to throw a spanner in the works, because actually when people talk about black teachers, they talk about shortage, right? And they talk about there aren't enough. Well, actually, proportionately, people from ethnic minority apply for teacher training at a high rate. The issue is application and acceptance doesn't align. So if you think about a funnel, plenty at the level of application, very little at the level of acceptance. And that is an area where I think teacher education needs to be put under scrutiny.
Big if. I wonder if in history I was told we were upper class Africans, kings and not just slaves, would my views change? If in art I was told we were great sculptures, creators of finely crafted bronze, extraordinary artworks and such things, would I have been filled with awe, knowing I would want to know more? I wonder if in these classes I was taught of the ivory bangle women in Roman Britain, if in his story I was told there were mixed communities in Roman Britain, living in York, Roman Britannia, would my views have changed? Would I have been filled with awe, knowing I would want to know more? Did you know, in DT, I wasn't told that in the 1870s, automatic lubricator was invented by a Canadian, studied in Scotland, England, having 50 plus more US patents for his inventions, the ironing board, lawn sprinkler, and more. If I tell you too, he was a black man just like you, would your views change? Would you be in awe, knowing this inventor, Elijah McCoy, from which coined the name The Real McCoy? I wonder, if you were me, would your view change? Would you have wanted to know more?
Barsi, who's currently the head teacher of Herring Hall Academy in Ponders End, Enfield, and has just received the TES Award for Head Teacher of the Year 2022. He's of Black African ethnic origin and has been in teaching profession for over 25 years. 20 of those have been in senior leadership positions. Born and raised in Sierra Leone, where he started his teaching career. He moved to Bulgaria on a scholarship to study medicine. He continued his teaching career at White Hart Lane School, now Woodside High School in Tottenham, where he progressed from an NQT to acting head teacher, supporting the transformation of the school from a failing school to being graded twice outstanding by Ofsted. His passion is working in challenging schools, making a difference for students from disadvantaged backgrounds.
I'm saying life is not about willpower. For me, it's about that power. It's the why power. Why do you do what you do? Why do you get up every morning? Why do you want to make a difference? And if you can find why you do what you do, the how, it should be very easy. I'm not sure I've said anything new to you that you don't know, but ladies and gentlemen, that's my story. Just the honor of sitting in a room with like-minded people who want to make a difference is enough for me. So I ask the question, what is your why? Have you found your why? When you have, you're on the road. Thank you.
And I'm going to invite up Lindani. So Lindani is a leadership development coach with a background in business development and business partnership. He's also a poet, writer, and a motivational speaker. Lindani coaches police officers in 3 major regions in the UK, supporting them with personal growth, leadership development, and community engagement. His work ranges from prison workshop to running international youth seminars. In addition, Lindani has an MSc in leadership development and a BA in politics.
And if we spend all the time looking at the problem, then when do we have time to actually recognize what's been working in the first place? The fact that we're all here, it means there's something great we're doing to be here in the first place. Where's that space for that reflection for us to understand that we're doing something fantastic? To be here. I mean, there was a time when you and I were not allowed to read. There was a time when we were not allowed to be married. I'm from Gambia. I didn't know I was black till I was 17. I knew I was black when I came here. When I was in Gambia, I was a Creole boy at most. I came here at 17 and all of a sudden I became a black person. I remember going to one of my teachers, GCSE, and I didn't even understand then. They made me do lower tier. I didn't even understand lower tier and higher tier then. This is me, fresh you call it coming. My father didn't understand, and they just put me into lower tier. And well, okay, I didn't understand the implications of it. And I had this black Ghanaian teacher who was also a pastor. I won't say his name, and I said to him, so I would like to be a lawyer. He looked at me, he said, Lindani, you know, I don't think it's a good idea. The system will not let you be a lawyer. And that's where that conversation stopped. At that point in time, I wasn't just going to him as a teacher. I was going to him almost as a father to say, this is a passion that I have. Can you hear me out? Can you be present with me? Just right here, can you be present? Can you give me an opportunity to share a dream that might be possible or not possible? All he did was tell me whatever experience he's had that has stopped him from doing whatever he stopped doing. But I want us to take the conversation beyond the realities of what tries to stop us, and I want us to start having conversation about what's possible. Because we are all here because of the conversation of possibility. And I wanted my GCS teacher to say, Lindani, this is the reality. Yes, you know, you're black, you're going to have to go with so A to C, but hold on. There's a way. Genuinely want to say that for us and for me, what I think leadership is, it's about being present. It's about being there. It's about having a say and a narration of who we are going to be and who we are, despite the realities that are set against us.